Mr. Ajay Singhania, who's the MD and CEO of Epack Durables, joins in. Because remember, that's a bucket that is catered to an industry which had a very strong calendar year 24. And if indeed the disposable income upticks lead to further increase in demand for durables, then it might actually have a positive impact for these companies as well. Mr. Singhania, good having you. Thanks so much for taking the time out and namaskar to you. Just wondering, we've come to the end of quarter 3. I don't think we got a chance to talk post your numbers. Did the quarter shape up as you planned? Part one of my question is that. And were there some anomalies which will get corrected in the quarters to come?
Yeah, so good morning. Quarter 3 definitely shaped out much better than what we had originally anticipated. And rather the entire 2024, the way growth has been for the AC industry, I mean, it's remarkable. The industry is going at 40% plus. At EPAC, we're growing at around 75-80%. So, I mean, we are having best times to grow. And Q4 and onwards, also the order book is extremely good. Already, I mean, there's been no winter per se this year, and the summer season continues. The trade inventory is at the acceptable levels. And so definitely, yes, we believe that even this season onwards is going to be extremely good growth.
Right. Ajay, obviously, we've seen margin contraction, but I believe that that's largely because of your investments in Sri City plant. Can you tell us about the plant? What kind of capacity it adds? What does that plant come through in terms of manufacturing and, well, the contribution it can actually make to your consolidated numbers?
So in terms of our recently added capacity at South in Sri City, we almost increased our capacity by 50%. So from 2.4 million, we increased to 3.6 million. So that was an additional 1.2 million of capacities. And first year, 2024 calendar, we were utilizing, I mean, we gradually started ramping up the capacities utilization. And now this quarter, definitely the capacity is fairly utilized. And we still have scope to improve further. And as we get approvals from our other customers and as the market penetration is increasing, we definitely see that by end of this calendar year, the capacities should be almost completely utilized during the season time.
All right. And going forward on a consolidated basis, Ajay, what kind of expectations can we have in your operating margins or your EBITDA margins? Is an 8% or thereabout a reasonable number to perhaps assume?
So as we have been guiding previously also, we are looking at a margin of 7.5% plus minus range to continue. And then further leveraging will definitely happen because as the market is increasing and we see that a lot of commodities have softened currently. So except dollar, I mean, everything is in favor of the industry. So definitely the margins would further improve. But yes, a guidance of 7.5% plus minus is what we have been maintaining.
Mr. Singhania, I have a question. So when you look at 7% operating profit margin, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when I look at June, September or December, you are well below that mark. The 9-month number on operating profit margins will be well and below. So two questions rolled into one. Your guidance on revenues, you'll probably meet it easily. But your guidance on EBITDA, you probably nearly need to double what you've done thus far in quarter 4 itself. Will quarter 4 be as strong on the operational front that it enables you to meet your EBITDA guidance and at the same time enable you to clock in 7% EBITDA margins for the year?
Yeah, so see, AC being a seasonal business, Q4 and Q1 are probably the only quarters wherein the entire EBITDA improvement and the margin comes in. So yes, and besides this, there are a lot of adjustments like debit notes and credit notes, which are settled only towards the end of the year. And then the PLI income is majorly what we book only in the last quarter. So all this put together is last quarter is something which is the reflection of the entire year's work, what we do.
Got it. Okay, so in which case you are saying that you will probably do an EBITDA margin which will enable you to clock in average 7% for the year, or that is not a guidance you're giving?
Yeah, that is absolutely the guidance we have been making.
That is the guidance you are giving. Wow. And which means that you might probably nudge that guided 160 crore of EBITDA for the year as well.
Absolutely, that's what we have been maintaining throughout.
That's what you're maintaining throughout as well.
And on an annualized basis, yes, that's the kind of guidance we have, that our annual balance sheet would be something like a 7.5 plus minus kind of an consolidated EBITDA.
Now, the other thing is there is this whole thing of global manufacturers looking at quality suppliers at the back end, right? Now, you've, of course, done this deal with Hisense as well. Beyond this, do you reckon more and more corporations are coming in, or would you deepen your engagement with the existing clients that you have, Mr. Singhania?
We have to look at both the ways to grow. Definitely, deepening ties with our existing customers is a sustainable way to grow. But the real uh, growth is also being how can we look at the export markets and the newer products. So for this tie-ups with foreign companies, I mean, especially certain tie-ups with like Hisense and other companies which are scouting to find right partner in India is definitely what we need to look at. And this is also something definitely which we would urge the government also to allow us because still we have a long way to go in terms of developing the right products which are not only suitable for India market but also for us to export. So therein, rather than reinventing the wheel, if we have tie-ups in place, we can roll out products much faster and look at a much faster growth. So yes, I mean there are numerous opportunities which are knocking the door, and deals beyond Hisense are also something which we definitely foresee.
Right, Ajay. Also, when it comes to your ramp up in the new Sri City plants, would it be safe to say that you could double your revenue from FY25 levels in the next 2 years? Will that be the kind of contribution coming through?
Yeah, something around that. Yes, that's definitely the kind of conviction we have in place.
Right.
So, like I've been shared earlier, also within the next 3 years, we are looking at a revenue of 5,000 plus crores.
Okay.
So, with that kind of conviction, yes, we would definitely working in that direction.
Right. And, Ajay, you've also have plans in moving further in terms of the appliances segment as well. What kind of blueprint do you have at this moment that you're working around, at least when it comes to FY26?
So for FY26, so washing machine is something definitely which we believe will scale up and start mass productions. So that's one appliance definitely. Then in small appliances, again, we have a lot of smaller appliances like air fryers and all, which we will start from Q1 of the next year, 26. So that's again something we believe will ramp up very fast. And beyond it, in terms of washing machines, as we starting with the top load, front load is something which we are working on, and we believe that's one technology product in which we need to work more deeper, and then that's definitely which will create more value for the company. So yes, we want to diversify our product portfolio in the right appliances like washing machines and smaller appliances like air fryers and others. Beyond it, if I see there are definitely other appliances like frost-free refrigerators and all, which will give us the next impact in terms of creating the value for the company.
Okay, there are a couple of other questions. So, by the way, just wondering, when you say 5,000 crores in the next 3 years, I'm just getting the timelines correct. By FY28, you say you will reach maybe circa 5,000 crores. Fair assessment?
Yeah.
Okay. FY24, you did 1420 crores of revenues and a profit after tax of 35 crores at a EBITDA margin of circa 7-8%. Assuming that you keep the same margins, that would mean that you clock in well, a profit of close to 123 crores or 125 crores by when you do that number of 5,000 crores. Again, fair assessment?
Yeah, absolutely, yes. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that. But yes,
Of
that's the
course.
kind of a plan we have, and that's what the team is working on.
Just wanted to get that out of the way. Okay, great. So you maintain EBITDA while you increase the revenues, which is a good thing. Okay. There is a question that my colleague Puneet had. Epack Prefab has filed an DRHP, if I'm not wrong. Is there any relation between the two companies?
Yeah, so I mean, the promoters are the same. So the same set of 4 promoters are the one who started Epack Prefab as well. So I mean, it's a sister concern in that sense.
Concern, but no shareholding or cross-holding between the two companies.
At company level, no shareholding or cross-holding. At promoter level, yes, both the families, the same set of shareholding.
Yeah, but so Epack Durable, the minority shareholders don't get impacted in any fashion by the IPO of Epack Prefab. Okay, good to get that out of the way. My last couple of questions from my end. I heard you mention in your earlier answer that PLI benefits, etc., come forth in Q4. Now, what is the latest on the PLI applications that you may have filed excuse me for not knowing this, but I'm just trying to understand. Are there some PLI applications that you filed and not gotten a response for? Are there some PLI applications that the government has put on offer, which you will be applying for? Can you give us an update there?
So in terms of PLI for air conditioning components manufacturing, it's a 5-year scheme in which we, for last 3 years, we've been consecutively filing, and for the first year, something we already received. Now, end of March is what we will receive PLI for the last financial year. So it takes almost a year by when we actually realize the PLI benefit. And similarly, for the current financial year, we'll file it in April, May, and then we expect it to get by December or January of the next year. So it's a 5-year process, and we've been meeting the target set to achieve every year.
All right. And, Ajay, a follow-up question to, the markets that you are catering and the clients that you are catering to right now. Are we looking at an expansion in that base as well? Are you having conversations with more industry players where you can look to, in fact, expand not only your clientele, but also your product line?
Definitely, yes. So again, as we have penetrated down south, we have started discussing with a lot of local players in south. So I mean, this year itself we have added close to 15 new customers, those smaller ones, but they're the local players in south now. That's something kind of an addition we are doing in terms of acquiring new customers. At the same time, our larger clients, the top 10 brands selling ACs in India, they are growing rapidly, and hence we also have growth with them and at the same time, a lot of brands which have in-house manufacturing, definitely the kind of growth industry is seeing their capacities in-house is not enough. And so that's another thing which is giving us a good growth.
That commentary from Ajay Singhania is maybe the one reason why the stock is excited, because it's locked on a 5% upper circuit as we speak. As the interview was going on, the stock has inched higher and now locked on a 5% upper circuit. The guidance is strong. If they actually do 125 crores of revenues by FY28, then at a 3,500 crore market cap, that's a high growth company trading at about 25 times. You can do your math. I have no recommendation, by the way. We're journalists, we don't recommend. But just laying out the numbers for you that the management has just said that they hope to do about 5,000 crores. Keeping the fingers crossed is the term. 5,000 crores revenues, and on that margins and that profitability, they're probably clocking about 125 crores of profit by FY28. I hope I got those numbers correct. Ajay Singhania, thank you so much for taking the time out and being with us, and all the best for all your plans.